Hello everyone, Mike Mixon from Keyboardamerica.com here in Lewis Beach, Delaware. Welcome to this Genos 2 update. Now I'm going to walk you through every step. Now if you guys don't have my book bundles, it's not really a problem. You can purchase my styles and banks without the book bundles on our book bundle page. And of course, our video lesson room for Genos and Tyros is quite impressive. And if you're overseas, I email you the files just the way they're supposed to be done. I have emailed everyone out all these files the right way, so you can look on my computer in a little bit in this video and you'll see exactly what's going on. Now, if you have the book bundles, we're going to reload all the banks. I got all that problem solved, and it's going to be really great to do. And you'll be able to update your bank every week. Okay, so here we go. Let's get started. And the first thing I'm going to do is the update. Okay, so first things first, you see none of them are lit up in the registration memories. That's what it's going to look like when you do the Genos 2 firmware update. So you'll be set up just like this one right out of the box. Now the first thing I'm going to do is show you where to look for the update. Okay, so hit your menu button, go to menu 2 up top, utility, and go down to system, and you'll see it's 1.30 is what you probably had before. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to power off the Genos. And we're dark there. Now I'm going to insert the thumb drive. Now that my firmware stick is in, I'm very simply going to hold the start-stop button. And let me zoom out real quick just so you can see the whole deal here, even though I know you know how to do this, okay? So just hold the start-stop button, turn the power on, and continue holding the start-stop button. Now, Genos will show up in the lower right-hand corner instead of in the middle. And it just said, now loading, and press start to start installation. Now that's all you have to do, and as soon as all 5 steps are done, and we'll zoom in here, it's doing step 1. Now I'm not going to make you wait in this video for the whole thing, but you can see, do not turn the power off until they're all finished. Once you do, you turn the power back on and you are updated. Okay, updating has been completed. Turn the power off, and you can see the version came up there. And we're just going to simply power it back up. Genos is in the middle again. Now, it will say improper power shutdown, backup data, and user files have been lost. That's exactly what you want. So don't fear when you see that. No problem at all. Now that we're powered up and running again, it's time to put the USB in with all my settings. Remember, I'm going to show you my computer screen so you know what the stick should look like before you put it in your Genos, okay? Okay, putting in my USB stick. Device is connected. And this is going to be a real simple process, okay? So at this point, just go over and hit Style. And we're going to go to User and USB. Now this is what it should look like if you downloaded it right on your computer. And once again, I'll show you that computer screen. The most important part are the registration banks. You have to follow that step exactly the way I do it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my Tyros 3 all those, all the Tyros. Now, I like to do them one at a time just so there's no problems. Take you about 5 minutes to do. And so you're going to hit File, Copy, Tyros 3 Ballad, Copy, hit User, Copy here. Now, as you get going through these, back to USB, File, Copy, Ballroom, Copy, go back to User, Copy here. Now, with my USB, you got all the Tyros 3, 4, and 5 styles. As you go on here to do more and more of these, you'll forget where you are, and I'll show you how to do that real quick. So we did Tyros 3 Ballroom, so we go to USB, File, Copy, Country, Copy, User, Copy here. Okay, so I'm going to load the rest of them now, and all you have to do is remember Tyros 3 Country is the last one. So when you go to USB, you could touch it right now if you wanted to, if you have a trouble, but see what happens? It opens it up and it doesn't put it in right. Okay, so you don't want to do that. So we're going to hit that up button again and go back to User and say, okay, last one is Tyros 3 Country. So File, Copy, Tyros 3 Dance, Copy. And this is exactly how you want to do it, because if you don't load it this way, it's not going to look like this. All the styles are just going to be loaded in there all over the place, okay? So just do that. I'm going to finish them up here real quick and move on to the next part of the video. Now I'm on Tyros 3 World and I'm on page 2, right? This is where you can start to forget which one you did. So I'll show you a little trick that I did here. Tyros 3 World is the last one. Here's USB 1. Got to go to this page. Tyros 3 World. If you forgot which one you did, just touch User real quick and it'll take you right back to that page. So it's a real quick way to do it. Okay, so if you loaded them all in right, you've got page 1 through 4 and there's only 1 on 4. Now that's going to change in a second. Now, so the next thing I'm going to do is exit out, hit my Style button again. I'm going to go to User, and what we want to do here is you want to load Mike's Genos user styles. Now, I'm going to hit USB. This time, we're going to do them all at one time. Now, this is important, and these are the 2 steps you just want to do. So, File, Copy, Mike's Genos user styles, Copy, go to User, Copy here. Now you can see they show up on page 1 right where they need to be, because you want to get to my user styles first. And now we're going to do the all of the registration banks. So this is going to be awesome. But remember, look at the way the files are in here, okay? So we're actually going to exit out, touch the bank, go to USB. Now, you don't want to copy all the registration banks. Just touch it. There we go. And you've got to do these one at a time. So we're going to File, Copy, touch bank 1, copy, go to User, copy here. Now, believe it or not, this is going to load up all the banks, and as soon as I touch bank 1, notice all my blue lights light up and I can exit out, and when I hit registration 1, the Wanderer comes up, which is supposed to be there. So they're all right and they're all loading exactly the way I have them in my Genos. So now we're going to go right up to bank 1 again, go to USB, open up up Mike's registration banks, file, copy, to, copy, user, copy here. Now you'll see that's lit up on 01, but don't worry about it. USB, Mike's registration banks, file, copy, 3, copy, user. See, 1 is lit up, but don't worry about it. Copy here, and there we go. And you just continue loading everything the same way, and all your banks will show up properly. Now I'm going to finish loading the banks real quick and then come right back to you. Okay, so I just loaded all of the banks 1 through 11, and anytime at this point, you know, if you hit bank 2, let's just exit out. How little we know, A-Train, wind beneath my wing, everything is right there, perfect in every bank. Isn't that beautiful? But you have to remember, when you are loading these, you have to load them properly. And the bottom line is, they have to be loaded exactly that way to work. And they have to be in a subfolder the way they were when you saw my screen earlier. And I'll show you what I'm talking about real quick. Okay, so I shut off my Genos real quick and turned it right back on. See this? It says Mike's registration banks. You have to have all the banks in this folder. Even though you're not loading this folder, you're opening it up and loading them. That was the thing that was the big catch. Okay, so remember, you can load Mike's Genos user styles all at one time. But when you see this on your on your stick in your Genos, this is exactly what it should look like. The user styles, registration banks, everything right there for you. And guys, you're all finished now setting up your Genos. So let's take a look at the computer file so you can see what that looks like. Okay, so right on my computer screen, here it's my thumb drive showing up because I had it inserted, and it says book bundle, and I'm going to just open that up. Now let's zoom out a little bit so you can see what's going on here. So as you can see, I've got just a gigolo up there, and actually that's not supposed to be there because I used it as a little transfer stick there. So I'm going to move that to the trash. So it should look just like this. Mike's Genos user styles, Mike's Genos registration banks, and each one of the Tyros should have their own folder so they show up properly. If I open up the registration banks, you can see here they are. But this is called a subfolder, and it needs to be in this folder to be able to do what I showed you to do. So make sure that it looks just like this and everything is right there. Okay? Now, if you've already done your Genos 2 update, obviously you need to delete all the Tyros styles, all my user files, all your banks. If you have banks of your own that you have saved in there, you need to put those banks on a stick, and then make sure you create a folder and then put all those banks you've created on your own inside that folder so that you can open the folder and reload them individually one at a time, and you won't have any problems. So I hope you enjoy this process. It didn't take that long. I was about 30 minutes doing the whole thing here, and it was done very, very quickly. And we want to thank our friend up there in Auburn, Mass, for letting us use his Genos, but we had to load his Genos anyway, so I thought it was a great time to do it. So until next time, Mike Mixon, Keyboardamerica.com, saying get the update done and everything should go very smooth.